YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. I was going to try out I got a little green screen set up, but then realized in my room, the way my computer's set up, the light is behind the green screen, so I'm going to have to keep using the software version of a green screen. So if you see little motes and other stuff around me, I'm working on trying to get like an actual green screen setup, so maybe we can do some fun videos in the future, but obviously not a super high priority for a channel that's focused mainly on gameplay. But I'm not here to talk about green screens. I'm here to talk about the Empire versus Chaos video that we saw from Joey and Darren today on the Total War YouTube channel, which was pretty neat stuff, honestly. I was pretty excited about it. The units look really cool, and let's just jump over to it. I'm going to put this video up in the background with no sound. I suggest if you have not seen it, you go watch this first, and then you can come pick up my thoughts on the video, because I want you to hear what the developers had to say and hear the game sounds and everything too, because it sounds pretty cool. And what you had here was basically an Empire versus Chaos Warriors, and it was just a battle playthrough, and really there was a lot of things that I liked about this. I haven't gotten to show you all a whole lot of footage yet because I don't really have any. Some other people got some. I don't have any of that footage. I wish I did, but I did get a little hands-on with the campaign in Warhammer finally at the event in San Francisco that I was able to attend. And this is pretty neat, and I'm excited to be able to talk through a little bit of this. I didn't use Chaos while I was at that event. I was playing with the vampire counts, obviously. But yeah, this map, they've got like this golden, whatever the heck this thing is, golden something or other. I don't remember what they called it, but it was pretty cool. This is on the map, and they're basically just kind of showing off the map, and then here in a second they'll start showing off some of the Chaos units. But anyway, what did I think of the campaign as I got to play through it? It was interesting. There was some things about it that were a little different than, say, like a Total War Attila that we're used to. Some things about it were more fleshed out, and other things were simpler, it seemed like. So like building chains and other stuff like that seemed pretty simple for me to understand when I was messing with the vampire counts. The armies and battles and recruitment was all very familiar, and it was fun to do and easy to use. The maps looked nice, like the stuff I was playing on. Check out those chariots there for Chaos too, and this was kind of cool. They were showing off some of these units that had like flaming horse eyes and feet and stuff. That's going to make for some really fun videos, and I'm actually excited. Like I said, I'm not even into that Warhammer vibe thing so much because I was never into the tabletop game or anything else, but just every time I've gotten to play this game, one of the things I've had fun with is just watching these ridiculous character models wailing on each other and just all the little details. It's just a lot of fun. And I think it's going to lead to some entertaining videos for you and a lot of fun for me, which I'm excited about. And, if you get the game, hopefully you have fun with it too. And that's the biggest thing that I want out of Warhammer. Just be fun. Like, be a Total War game that we all look back on and we're like, man, that was a good time. Kind of like Shogun 2. And anyway, the Chaos troops here were pretty neat. They kind of showed that they had a variety of infantry, from, say, like a lower tier infantry all the way up to the highest tier guys who were carrying the great weapons. And all these units kind of have a different role in battle. There's units that are better versus large. There's units that are better versus heroes. There's units that are just kind of baseline throwaway infantry. There's ranged units of several types. There's monster units. There's fast units. There's heavily armored. So the game will be similar in those respects to, say, like a Total War Attila. Different in the fact that you get some more extremes with the different units, but again, in Attila we experienced some of this like soul cannon. I remember this thing is like, it's got like the twisted souls on the background. The thing was pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, so I messed around with the vampires. I would say that, you all have seen their reveal. Each faction kind of seems to have kind of those base units that are available to them of some sort, and there is some difference between each faction. Obviously, they don't play exactly the same, but like the different factions certainly have things that they're good at, and I've noticed that the others have things that they're good at. I don't really know what Chaos's thing is because we haven't seen enough of them yet, but like, say for instance, playing with the vampire counts, they've got some good monsters. They have tons of numbers, like they're huge numbers, and you can quickly raise lots of troops. So the vampire counts are all about being rushy and big numbers and overwhelming and using fear and all that other stuff to your advantage. So that's what the vampires were all about. I'm assuming to some degree a lot of the Chaos units will inspire fear, whereas you got the Empire, and they were like your more well-balanced faction. They've got a little bit of everything, but they're not necessarily, and they've got some cool like wizard units and other stuff too. And then, of course, the greenskins. I haven't really gotten to mess with them yet either. But it seems like they've got a nice variety of units too. Seems like a lot of their units that I run into are kind of fast and wiry and stuff like that. So again, I don't know all the details yet, but just what I'm seeing here in the game still so far, I'm very happy about. I'm glad that they keep showing us gameplay. They keep walking through new things. That's good. We need to see this stuff. This was their Celestial Wizard, I think, was the unit. It's going to be pretty cool. And then you can see Karl Franz up there, or whatever his name is, up on his awesome demigriff there, or whatever the heck that thing is. I don't know what it is. I can't remember the names of all these things. They look great, like I said, but since I'm not into the Warhammer lore, I don't always remember the names. But you got to admit, that looks cool, right, people? I mean, you're going to have fun with that, I think, in the game. So anyway, Chaos, what did we see today? We saw some cool units. We got to see the chariots, and you'll get to see them in action. We got to see some of the magical powers from Chaos too. Again, we got to see a pretty good chunk of infantry from them and a little bit of cavalry as well. And again, if you have not watched this video in full, I suggest you go do it. Darren ends up getting beaten pretty badly in it, and just goes to show you that, I mean, obviously these factions feel different things, and you've got to be able to play the battle right. I noticed whenever I was playing as the vampire counts, for instance, and I got into a battle or two with the Empire, my baseline infantry, like my throwaway infantry, like the zombies and the skeletons, were crappier than, say, like your Empire infantry of some sorts. And so you had to be careful in the sense that your guys might get chewed up a little. But if you were using kind of throwaway tactics where maybe your guys just held them for a minute while you sent bats, or the big Varg wolf or whatever it was around the side, like using your monster to advantage and stuff like that. So it was definitely fun, and I liked how you had to play each faction a little bit differently. And of course you had the vampiric corruption on the map, and I'm sure I don't really know how Chaos, this was like some kind of Luminarch unit that they had, which is pretty cool. It does like this cool range thing. That is really a cool looking unit. Very neat. Again, the detail on the units here is looking very nice. But I guess main takeaways, and let's kind of skip forward into the battle again. You can go check out some of this for yourself. Let's actually watch Darren play the battle. It started off with some pretty sweet artillery barrages, which I'll let you watch here. The artillery in the game is a lot of fun. All the artillery units that I've gotten to use, they look good. They cause nice damage, but at the same time, it seems like you generally have access to units that can help counter them. Now, of course, in the campaign, it's going to be up to you to do that for yourself, but most of the battles that I've played where they give you units, you just kind of had to understand what was the best way to counter the artillery. But these rocket barrages were absolutely awesome. And, of course, you can see the Chaos Cavalry with the flames under their feet, and the big giant Chaos Giant running around, and there was Chaos Trolls. There was all kinds of cool stuff. Anyway, it was really nice to see this reveal. Nice to kind of see Chaos. And one thing they did mention, I know this is still a sore spot for people, and I'm not playing special pleader for anybody. I'm just repeating the message that they said themselves in the video, which was all this Chaos stuff will be in the base game. You can play against them. Playing as the Chaos, though, as you know, does require either to buy a DLC or you pre-order to get that DLC for free. I'm not encouraging someone to do that. I'm just telling you what it is. I will be there to show you the Chaos DLC from day one if you want me to review it. And the Creative Assembly has promised to get review copies out to us. And again, I will do everything I can to review the game. Now right there, this little spot in the center, Darren uses kind of a magic spell that holds everybody in place. I could see that being really handy. Kind of he does it here a little bit where he starts targeting that blob that gets held still with his artillery. Interesting ability. I hadn't seen that one yet. You'll see how he's kind of keeping his guns in the back, which is an interesting strategy, trying to maybe use the handguns to take out the large units that come in. But those Chaos Chariots are kind of running all over him as well. But like I said, what I noticed as I play the game is, you'll just have certain units and you have to use those units to their strength. It's not a whole lot different than Attila or Rome 2 or some of the other games. You get the big units, and they are kind of like your crusher units. They come in, they do a ton of damage, just kind of like elephants, say in Rome 2 or Attila. Not exactly the same, but similar in some respects. And those units have to be used intelligently and at the right time, or else they can get overwhelmed. And of course, you have to be careful about which units they get thrown into. And if you're trying to counter them, you have to make sure you have the right counter units ready to go. And say, here, I think Darren held them with an infantry unit while he shot the crap out of them. I think he was using a Celestial Wizard here, and he calls down this really cool-looking magic spell that was pretty sweet there. As I played with magic in the game, too, a lot of people ask, is magic OP? I did not find magic to be OP. There was definitely things you could use it for that were crafty and could help sway a battle, but there wasn't just like a spell where you could pull out and just like wipe out the enemy army with a single spell. And as you play the campaign, it was really fun because you had these legendary lords, and you would have to like go do these quest battles and gain experience with that legendary lord to unlock the different stuff. So it really feels kind of like a little bit of a role-playing game in the sense that you're playing this Total War, but you also get to level up your character and pick their skills, and that determines which magic powers they get. And as you go win these quest battles, you pick up legendary equipment for them and stuff like that. It's very fun. I like it. It seems like it'll create some fun playing points in the campaign and kind of lead to those moments where the player can get really excited about, yes, I finally got that special sword or that wyvern mount or whatever it is. So again, a lot of stuff that I'm seeing in the game that I'm very excited about. Of course, I'm cautiously optimistic. I love Total War. I love it. And I want the Creative Assembly to be successful because I love Total War, not because I'm, worried about profits or whatever else it is. It's because I'm a fan of the game. And I hate seeing launches like we did with Rome 2. It was terrible and frustrating. And so I was so glad when they delayed this and we're going to actually take some time to try and improve the engine, add, make sure DirectX 12 support was there, get the 64-bit support. Just all these things that they're doing are really good to see, and I'm glad to see the Creative Assembly showing more and more videos like this, because that tells me that they are taking the feedback which the community has given them, which was angry and upset, and that's good. Rather than them just shutting us down, it's good to see them taking some feedback. Are we all happy about the Chaos pre-order thing? No, that was definitely something that I hear them talk about from time to time, and they're not changing that, but I mean, I think that there was a pretty clear message sent there that don't do that anymore. Like, stop. I think that we expect DLC. I even like DLC to a good game that I like because then it keeps the game fresh for me. But, again, the whole day one DLC, you and I both probably just kind of dislike that. Here comes another cool spell. Anyway, tell me what questions you have. I don't know a ton about Chaos, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have about, like, say, the vampire counts or anything that I got to play while I was hands-on with the game. I did a live stream a while back and answered some of these, but if you have anything you want to know, let me know. Otherwise, great video today from the Creative Assembly. I didn't talk about all the different points that they did because, again, go watch them and listen to them talk about the Chaos thing. I'm just here giving you a few of my thoughts about the game. My general stance towards the game right now is cautiously excited because of the things that I'm seeing. But of course, I'm just waiting for the full version to come out, and as soon as I get a hold of a review version and there's no embargoes or anything else, I will get that to you as quickly as I can and give you my thoughts. It does release in May, so we're still a little ways out, but getting closer, and I'm getting pumped for some new Total War content. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you soon. HeirofCarthage signing out.